Patience is essential on this path. You need to keep at it. You need to keep on going, keep on going. That is why it says in the Gita that the great devotees are the ones who are engaged with strong determination, dridha vritaha, with strong determination. This patience is implicitly enjoined in the scriptural description of the soul as achintya. Krishna has already given us a hint in the word, in the usage of the word achintya here, saying that you will have to work for it. Right now it is achintya. Right now it is inconceivable, because we are right now at the material level of consciousness. But if we engage with strong determination, with patience in the path of self-realization, in a bona fide path, under the guidance of scripture and guru and sadhu, then you will be able to realize yourself in due course of time. Krishna has said the same instructions time and again in the Gita. Even in the 6th chapter, if you see it, Krishna says that the highest yogi is the one who understands the position as it is, and when he understands it, he will feel a type of bliss that is never ending, and that is the bliss of bhakti rasa, not just Brahmanda ras, bhakti ras. Okay. So the question might still be asked that if the soul is achintya, then why should we engage in the chintan about it? Why do we try to understand something which is beyond comprehension? And the following reason is because that contemplation is the pathway to real happiness. That contemplation is the pathway to real happiness. The soul's inconceivability is not meant to put us off this journey of questioning. It is meant to inspire us to go ahead. Like I don't know if you've seen in the movies, especially those type of movies which are like pirates, like treasure hunting. Like, you know, when those pirates go for treasure hunting, there's so many clues. Oh, then this one clue takes you to some another place, you get another clue there, it chases you to go to another place, they take another clue to finally find what? Treasure. So this knowledge or these clues are not, these are the first clue, achintya. It's not meant to dishearten you that, oh, if you go to this clue, then you will the next step you will get the treasure. No, one clue after the next clue, after the next clue, after the next clue, finally you will get to where the treasure is to be found. It is not very simple that way. So, but that getting from one clue to the next clue gives you that sort of power that, okay, yes, I am one step closer. I am one step closer to reaching the final treasure. I am one step closer. I am one step closer. That information is meant for you to get some sort of motivation to go ahead and ahead and ahead. Yeah. So Krishna is already putting it a very realistic target that yes, right now for you it is achintya, but it is not always going to remain achintya. You will be able to understand yourself fully. You will be able to conceive of your pure existence as a soul, as a part and parcel of the Supreme, and then engaged in your constitutional position as being an eternal servant of the Lord. Yeah, it is meant to fill us with enthusiasm. It's meant to fill us with excitement. When you know this knowledge that actually bliss is inside me. Bliss is my makeup. Satchit Ananda. The soul itself is blissful. This information should be a starting point for you to want to go further, because we all are looking for happiness, but we are looking it for the wrong place. And all these scriptures, all this information in the scriptures is not meant to think or make you think, it's something so far. Yes, it is far, but that is where the real deal is. That is where the treasure is. Yeah, that is where we need to go. So, although the word achintya is used here, and people will look at it like, oh, if it is inconceivable, why are we wasting our time? But that's not the case. because that is where we need to get to understand who we are, to really understand who we are, and that only happens when you reach the perfect stage of self realization. And finally, the last word that Krishna has used here is avikaryo. Avikaryo meaning that it is unchangeable. The soul doesn't change. So there are two understandings here. There is one understanding that Krishna is trying, the immediate understanding. So in the contextual understanding is that Krishna is using the word avikaryo to tell Arjuna that doesn't matter if you kill the bodies of Bhishma and Drona, they are only going to get a new body, then their existence is not going to be finished when the body is finished, because the soul is independent of the body, it doesn't change along with the body. This table is made of unconscious matter, and so unconscious matter goes to three changes: creation, then it deteriorates, and finally it will destroy. So creation, deterioration, and then finally destruction. But if there is a soul, then three more stages are added to it. That there is going to be creation, then there is going to be growth, then there is going to be maintenance, a bit of reproduction, then finally deterioration and destruction. So step 1, 5, 6 is the same in unconscious matter or in conscious matter. Right now this is conscious matter because there is a soul inside, right? But this body will go 3 further changes, then the table will go, because this table once made, does it grow? No, it does not grow, it stays the same size. In fact, it will reduce, it will deteriorate. Then will it maintain itself? If I was to break one leg of the table, will the table take it back and put it to itself? But when we cut our body, what happens? It naturally heals, there is scabbing. So the body maintains itself because there is a presence of the soul. And then will this table give birth to another table? No, but humans can. So with the presence of the soul, matter will only have 3 more levels of changes, but the changes are only happening at the level of the body, it is not happening at the level of the soul. The soul will remain as it is, it does not transform, there is no vikar. So there is no vikar, there is no transformation of the soul. The soul remains as it is, same, unchangeable. So on a philosophical point, again Prabhupada has utilized this opportunity to again hit back on the theory of impersonalism, that because the soul is unchangeable, its constitution never changes, it will always remain an infinitesimal soul, it will never change to become the infinite, it will always remain as an infinitesimal soul, because that is a quality of the soul, it is avikarya, it has always been atomic in size, it has always been, it is, and it will always continue to be in the future, and this is consistent throughout the Gita. We have already seen in 2.12 or 2.12, where Krishna says that you, me, all these kings here have always existed before, existing now, and will continue to exist in the future. That has already been said. Again here with the word avikarya is again pointing the same point. Again you go ahead in chapter 15, it says Jiva Bhuta Sanatana, Mama Vamsho Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. Again the same point is put again and again. Why? Because Prabhupada ji has written here in the last thing, repetition of something is necessary in order that we understand the matter thoroughly without error. That is why there is so many times that the same knowledge is being put from this angle, that angle. All of it is pointing at one direction, and this is the beauty of the Gita. This is the beauty of Prabhupada's Gita, because he has presented the words of Krishna in its direct way, with no personal thinking that, oh, I think it's this way. No, the way Krishna has said it, that's the way you have to understand it. And Krishna has said the same point from all angles, and so Prabhupada's Gita also brings any point back to the same understanding, the final understanding, that we are infinitesimal souls, Krishna is an infinite soul, and we are engaged in a relationship as being his eternal parts and parcels who are engaged in service. And so this point has to be understood, and the way we can get to understand this knowledge, as we said here, that we have to put ourselves into a path of spiritual practice, and that path is known as yoga. Now in the Gita there are so many types of yoga that are given, but still Krishna says that the topmost of all of them, all the types of yogas find their perfection in one type of yoga, and that is Bhakti Yoga. So when we actually focus and put ourselves wholeheartedly on this path, then sooner or later, under the guidance of Guru, Sadhu and Shastra, under the guidance of their care, we will be able to actually become self-realized, and then at that time this knowledge will become practiced, it will become realized knowledge. Right now it is theoretical knowledge, but it will soon become realized knowledge, and you will understand this in full, and at that time you will be able to really feel that, okay, I am the soul. Right now we feel, oh, soul is just a concept. At that time it moves from being a concept to actually being who we are. That is who we are. We realize that. So this is the beauty of the teachings of the Gita. Moving forward from the next verse onwards, actually till here Krishna has basically given the science of the soul, the knowledge of the soul. He's taken the backing of scripture. Now he starts to destroy the argument from the other side. Say that, okay, the scriptures did not exist, then still you have nothing to lament about. So basically it's like a checkmate, because Arjuna could easily have said that, okay, I don't believe in the scriptures. Then Krishna says, even if you do not believe in the scriptures, still you have nothing to lament about. That will happen for the next three shlokas until you get to the end of the text number 30, and then Krishna moves on to the second argument the second argument that Arjuna presented in chapter 1. Then like that it will keep on going. So anyone has any questions, any answers? Yes.
I don't have a question, I said observation.
Yeah.
It's like air. You cannot see it, but you can feel it and realize.
Yeah.
Isn't it synonym, like a soul? It's affected by perception. To understand the soul, you need the spiritual knowledge, the Vedics, the Gurus.
Yeah, so
Synonym or something like that.
you can get some understanding, but that is just a passing knowledge. You have not actually understood it, you have not internalized that knowledge. And to internalize that knowledge, you need the help of the scriptures, you need the help of gurus, you need the help of sadhus. Then only will this knowledge that is, everyone observes it, everyone knows this fact, but how many people are there that actually understands this fact? People know the fact and people understand the fact. It's two completely different. We all have the experience. How many times have we gone to the cemetery and people will have that momentarily detachment? What are we doing with our life? That this guy is just gone all of a sudden. But then it lasts for how long? Moments. As soon as you get out of the door of the cemetery, you're going back to doing all the activities that you're at just moments before you felt detachment from. You see how subtle and how tightly this knowledge is covered. Everyone knows it, but how many of you actually understand it? And that understanding can only come through repeated sharpening. We all know that a sword is supposed to cut, but if you have a very blunt sword, that is useless. That instrument doesn't work. You have to keep on sharpening it. So we need to keep on sharpening ourselves with the knowledge of the Gita. That is why it is said that we need jnana chakshu. We don't need this material level of vision is not going to help. You need jnana chakshu. That's why this is very important. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Granth Raj Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.